Hey there, whippersnappers, it's Tortimer the Grey. Welcome back to another very exciting Nuzlocke Challenge series here on my channel. Today we are going to be starting episode 0 of my Pokemon Omicron Little Lock. And since both of those terms may be a little foreign to you, let me explain what each of those are, and then we'll get started here. First, Pokemon Omicron is a Pokemon... It's not really a ROM hack. It's because it runs on an EXE, so it's not overwriting like a Pokemon Fire Red. It's not a patch or anything like that. But I guess it is a hack. It's a Pokemon game created in an entirely new region. Let's see, it's the Vesrin region. The Vesrin region. This game has been created, as you can see at the bottom there, by Redditors the Suzerain and Sir Williams, or Sir Willis CMS. Oh, I apologize. And so it's a very cool hack. I've done a little bit of playtesting, not a whole lot. Watched a video or two on YouTube. Not a whole lot of people doing it though. So it's something I wanted to give a shot to. Earlier this year, I was thinking about doing this run, the Little Lock. I wanted to get going on it, and I'd asked if anybody had any good ideas on like hacks or anything like that, because with the Hexath'locke, we're running through all of the vanilla Pokemon games, and so I didn't really want to do something on one of those just because it would be, I don't know, redundant, I guess. I didn't want the channel to get stale, and I didn't want to have to play the same game again, because you run out of things to say at that point. So we're playing Pokemon Omicron. It has a counterpart in Pokemon Zeta. So Pokemon Omicron and Zeta are the two versions that these guys have come up with. The game follows a young hero, which will be us, as we're fighting against a terrorist organization. In this version is Pokemon Olympus, or Team Olympus rather. And it's a very exciting story from what I can see. Looks like it'll be a lot of fun. And since I'm going to be playing it mostly blind, it'll be exciting for us to kind of figure it out together. So let's go ahead and jump in here. We are going to be starting a new game. I had started just a little bit. Save file exists. Yes, I want to over... Oh, nope, I do want to override it. There we go. Yes! Alright, so we are going to be starting our new adventure here. Professor Oak, hello! This is a pre-recorded message. It is only to be opened in case of emergency. My name is Professor Oak. People call me the Pokemon Professor. Please select an option. Alright, so, let's go in, let's learn about the adventure, beginning pre-recorded message. You're about to enter a world full of hopes and dreams. Many different people live here, all with different worldviews and beliefs. Some people desire goodness and altruism, but some people also value fame and power over anything else. You are about to take a trip through this world. At times, obstacles will stand in your way. By solving puzzles with clever thinking, these can be overcome. At other times, others may challenge you to a battle. By overcoming such hurdles, you can obtain success and power of your own. Through your journey, we hope you gain personal growth and learn from opinions of others. That is the most important objective of this quest, whether or not you succeed. Alright, so we are going to jump right in here then. This world is inhabited by creatures we call Pokemon. People and Pokemon live together by supporting each other. Some people play with Pokemon, but some battle with them. But some people abuse them for power. That is why you are here today. For our records, please answer the following questions. Alright, so, we are a boy, so we are going to say yes twice. What is your name? The nice thing about this hack, you get to just type in your name. It can be... Ooh, I guess it could be exactly that long. Okay, well, awesome. Tortimer fits, so we don't have to be Tortimer this time. So you're Tortimer. Yes. Would you like to do a challenge run? Okay, so this is a very cool part of this hack. Would you like to do a challenge run? We're going to say yes, because what kind of challenge run would you prefer? Alright, so this gives us the choice of picking different kinds of runs. Okay, so we can set it to do a Nuzlocke. We can set it to be randomized, do a PP challenge, solo. I mean, all these different kinds of things. I haven't gotten to play around with these because these just showed up in the most recent patch. I had been doing my playtesting on, I think, 1.3.8. This is 1.4.2. So this just got added, and I just downloaded that this morning as I sat down to record. So this is very cool. If you guys get it out and want to play with it yourself, it's very awesome. I am going to say, yes, let's have the game keep us at a Nuzlocke. That's what we're doing. There's no reason not to. So let's go ahead and just say, okay. In a Nuzlocke challenge, fainted Pokemon will not be healed at Pokemon centers. Revived, Sacred Ash, and other ways to revive your Pokemon will also fail. You will also be able to access the Nuzlocke Shop, a shop containing EXP shares as well as rare Pokeballs and TMs in Fyonga City. Are you sure these are the settings you wish to play with? Yes. By default, the rival has swag to make you feel enmity towards him. Is this okay? Usually the rival's kind of an annoying character anyway, so I guess we'll say yes. I'm not a real big proponent of the whole swag thing, but whatever, we'll take it. Tortimer, are you ready? Or Tortimer. We're not Tortimer anymore. Team Olympus has attacked Nyasa Town, leaving few survivors. The remaining citizens are being transferred to Zaravar Town through the escape route. Emergency Pokemon are available in the escape route for those who want to help. Stop Team Olympus. Thank you for watching this pre-recorded message. Alright. So that kind of gives you a little bit of a feeling for what the story is going to be like. Team Olympus is a little more involved than other evil teams have been. I think we're safe here. Go, Lucario! Okay, so I'm going to finish talking for a second, so this will wait for me. So Team Olympus seems to be a little more involved than some of the other evil teams have been. They've, in essence, kidnapped or wiped out an entire town at this point. Alright, so this game starts, as Professor Oak just said in his message, we are in an escape route trying to escape our hometown, which has just been ravaged by Team Olympus. Alright? And we are here with what I believe is our mother in the escape route. And so that's what we're going to pick up. And once we get to kind of a dull point, I'll explain what the Little Lock is and what we're going to be doing here today. But let's just jump right into it, shall we? Go, Lucario! Lucario, the time has come. Go find Wilson. Tell him the time for cowardice is over. Tell him to redeem himself. Lucario! Use extreme speed. Lucario! Alright. So Mom sends off her Lucario to find mysterious Wilson. He's apparently a coward and he needs to get his act together. Tortimer, I hoped it would never have come to this. They're out there. They won't stop until they get what they want. Tortimer, you're growing up. I think you're ready for your first Pokemon. We have Pokemon stored somewhere down here in case of emergencies. You may as well take one. Perhaps if Team Olympus has ever stopped, you might become a better trainer than I ever was. I only wish I knew why they came after Nyasa Town. Question. Hey! Aria, Tortimer, Team Olympus found this cave. Aria, we need you to help fend them off. Oh no. Go with the Professor, honey. He'll take you to his lab in Zaravar Town. Tortimer, I love you. Be safe. Alright, so our mom is some big shot battler. She's going off to help fend off the terrorist organization, and we are going to start our journey hanging out with Professor Oak. Well, I suppose desperate times call for desperate measures. As a professor, I'm supposed to give you a Pokemon to start on your journey. But as a friend of your family, well, I trust your mother's judgment. She is one of the greatest trainers I've ever met. It's not that I doubt you, of course. You're surprisingly mature for your age. Follow me. I'll take you to get your Pokemon. Alright, so let's follow Professor Oak. So, we're... Oh, look, this lady with her little shiny mudkip. So, this cave is the escape route here. We've got to go talk to Professor Oak. Tortimer, this way. Alright, so now I want to... Well, let's finish this off, and then I'll explain the Little Lock here at the end. This is, as I said before, episode 0. So we're just kind of getting started here. There are 3 Pokemon in this case. Pick one, but pick wisely. It will be your companion for the rest of your life. Alright guys, so let's take a brief moment here, and I'm going to explain what the Little Lock is. So the Little Lock is a Nuzlocke variant that may sound familiar, but I couldn't find anything that did exactly what I wanted to do. So it may sound a lot like the Everlock, where you're not allowed to do evolution, except for that the Everlock allows you to have evolution based on the number of badges you get. So if you get a badge, you're allowed to have an evolution, and so on. This is the Little Lock, okay, which is something that I've come up with, and we'll run through the rules here really quickly. So the first rule is that player may only use Pokemon that are in their first stage or that have no evolutions. Okay, so like Squirtle, you know, so any Pokemon that would be eligible for use in, like, let's say Little Cup battling, because, you know, for me, I've gotten really into the Little Cup thing, and a lot of you guys are probably here because you've seen my Little Cup battles on Smogon or something like that. That's kind of where you know, a lot of you guys have probably come from, because I gained a lot of subs when I started putting that kind of stuff out and got a lot of feedback that you guys loved the Little Cup stuff. All right? And I love it too. I'm really enjoying that stuff, and so I figured, you know, I've kind of been doing that Little Cup stuff to show, you know, that the baby Pokemon, the unevolved Pokemon, can really be impressive as well. And so that's kind of where the idea for this run kind of came from. We will only be using Pokemon that are in their first stage, and to make things a little bit easier in this sense of finding catches, I'm also going to allow Pokemon that have no evolutions. So, like, you know, Farfetch'd, or Mawile, or Sableye, or something like that. A Pokemon that is a single-stage Pokemon, has no pre-evolutions and no evolutions. I'm also going to allow them to be used in this run. And so that means no evolution ever. At no point is that going to be allowed. Rule number 2. It's a pretty typical Nuzlocke rule, and it's going to be enforced by the game itself, it looks like. So, any Pokemon that faints is considered dead and must be boxed. Okay, so we are going to be boxing unless the game automatically releases, but I don't think that's how it works. So we're going to be creating a box just because I like to have a record of, you know, where we've been. It's nice to be able to look back and see how well we've done. And I kind of expect that this run will probably be a little bloodier than some of my other runs, especially than the Hexath'locke has been. I mean, we've had some significant losses in the Hexath'locke, but I have a feeling when we're not allowing evolutions, this might get a little out of hand. So we're definitely going to be doing the box. That's a pretty typical rule, though. Rule number 3, the player may only catch the first usable Pokemon encountered in each area and none else. So in order for, as the game goes on, I don't think it's going to really come into play at the beginning of the game, but as the game moves on, it's probably going to become harder and harder to find Pokemon that are eligible for use in the wild. So as we move on, I'm imagining we're going to stop seeing Geodudes and we're going to start seeing Ravelers, right? You know, how that typically works in Pokemon games. So, and I honestly don't know, I've only played through to like the second town in my playtesting, and the guy I was watching who was doing one of these runs, I don't think he got past like the 6th badge before he kind of stopped updating. So I don't really know how the end game works, or the catches and all that, so that's just kind of a precautionary thing. I don't think it's going to really be a big issue, and if we get towards the end of the game and there are no single, you know, first stage Pokemon or single stage Pokemon available in the wild, then we just don't get a catch. And that's just that's going to be part of the challenge. We've got to try and keep our Pokemon alive, because there may be a chance that we're not going to be able to get any new ones. Alright? So that's going to add some challenge for sure. As always in my runs, we've got the Dupes Clause. We get up to 2 attempts to find a unique catch. That's pretty typical for me, just to keep things interesting so we don't have a team full of, you know, Rattatas or something. And the Shiny Clause. Just on the off chance that we find a Shiny, we are going to be able to catch it regardless of whether or not it's a first encounter or not. But, as always, the rule is we've got to use it. So if we find a Shiny, you know, Magikarp, you know, this is a Little Lock. Magikarp can never evolve into Gyarados. So if we find a shiny Magikarp, we've got to use it. And so that's just going to be if we catch it, and that's just how it's going to work out. But that's pretty typical for me. The flip side of that is, assuming we can catch the shiny Pokemon and use it, assuming it does not violate rule number 1, which again stated that we can only use first stage or single stage Pokemon in this run. Alright? Hopefully all that makes sense. Again, as part of rule number 3C, gift Pokemon are allowed, again, as long as they don't violate rule number 1, but they count for that area's rooter encounter. So we don't get unlimited free gift Pokemon just because. If we get a gift Pokemon, that means in that town or route or wherever, that is our encounter for that route. And rule number 4, not really a rule, but just kind of a, you know, a fun little thing that we always do, and it's kind of an unofficial rule of the Nuzlocke. All Pokemon must be nicknamed. So that's what we're running with. Nothing real confusing, because honestly, keeping track of a lot of rules, you know, I watch friends of mine, like, I talk about Erin a lot. She's a big supporter of this channel, and she's a great Poketuber. If you haven't checked her out, you guys should. But she likes to do rule-heavy runs. And it's funny, like, at the beginning of her current Dice Lock, for the first couple of episodes, she had difficulties, like, abiding by and remembering all of her rules. Just by nature of, you know, there's a lot of them, and she's trying really hard, but sometimes you just forget. And so I don't want to do rule-heavy ones, or like, oh, you only get so many items, and you only get so many heals, and da-da-da-da-da. I think using unevolved Pokemon is going to add enough challenge to this, especially with this being a hack. I'm not sure how high the difficulty's been jacked up. I'm not really sure what to expect, because we're going into this mostly blind. But I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I think that you guys are going to really enjoy watching me struggle through it. So I hope you guys are excited as I am. I'm really looking forward to getting in here and getting started. And since this is episode 0, this is episode 0 because 1, I wanted to take some time to explain all this to you guys, and 2, because I wanted you guys to tell me who you think I should use as my starter. Okay? So let's start here. I want to go in, and I'm going to save. Yes, I would like to save the game. Say now the other files eventually will be, including Pokemon, will be entirely lost. Are you sure you want to save now? Yes. Oh, gosh darn it. Alrighty, so we've got the game saved. Here's what I want you to do. Oop, that's not what I wanted to do. Alright, so we get to choose between these 3 Pokemon. This must be the emergency Pokemon supply. Which Pokemon would you like to take? Okay, guys, so here are our choices. And remember that this Pokemon will never be allowed to evolve because of the rule set of this run. Okay? So make your choice based not on, oh, well, Magmar is awesome, or Victory Bell would be really useful, or Kingdra, you know, gets the dragon typing, so that would be really sweet. Okay? We can choose between Bellsprout, Magby, and Horsey, and they will remain a Horsey, Magby, or Bellsprout for as long as they are alive. Okay? So use whatever criteria you want to use, and let me know who you think I should use as my starter for this run. It's going to be entirely up to you guys. I'm not going to influence the decision at all. I really want this to be kind of a community-decided thing. You know, with the Hexath'locke stuff, I may try to sway you one way or the other, or I may, you know, kind of give the best out of a certain number of votes, and, you know, I may make some decisions there, but truly, whoever gets the most votes is going to be our starter in this run. So make sure you guys leave your votes down below. Vote for either Bellsprout, Magby, or Horsey. And if you want to give a nickname suggestion, that's great too. But that's where I'm going to leave you guys for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm super excited about this run and getting into it. I hope you guys are excited too. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be really funny to watch me kind of flail around and fail at this run, because the Hexath'locke has been relatively smooth sailing for the most part. I think this run is going to be a lot bloodier, a lot more difficult, and I'm really kind of excited to get into it. So thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to leave the likes and subscribe if you have not already, and make sure to leave your votes for who the starter should be. As always, I've been Tortimer the Gray, and you guys have been great. Have a good one.